and it's coming down. Made 50 grand on a 2-bit house. So come on baby, do the deck cat bounce.
It's the loser. It's the one. If you've been here before, you know this sad tale of a man. We saw him busking out front one night and thought, you know, he makes us laugh. Probably not for the right reasons, but get him to write some shit down, brush his hair and get him on stage. Everybody, round of applause to that. No, not winner. What word am I thinking of? Loser. Mr. Paul Cooper. Loser. This is all healthy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Quite happy to be here at the Portland Arms tonight. I'm kind of struggling a bit really at the moment because, you know, I've had a bit of a knock to my self-esteem recently, and I think a lot of it comes down to my relationship with my girlfriend because, you know, I don't think she likes me anymore. I mean, I don't know if anybody else is in a similar situation, you know. You get there after you spent quite a lot of time with her, but I don't think she's interested. I mean, she's certainly not interested in sex anymore. And that became quite apparent quite soon after I met her. I mean, we had a Valentine's Day, you know, and she... wine, DVD, that kind of thing, nice meal, and she goes to me, do you know what, there's really something we could do that could improve this. There's this magic little tablet which will, you know, really enhance my sexual, you know, experience with you. And I thought, fair enough, you know, I'm a fairly caring sort of lover, I thought I've got no problem with that. I had no idea she was talking about Rohypnol. It's just, you know, it's unbelievable, you know, and that's not good for your self-esteem, is it? I mean, that is a real knock. You know, I mean, I'm no expert or psychiatrist or anything, but I'm fairly certain that if there's a top 10 of things which are really going to knock a guy's confidence, it's having to try and make love to a woman who's self-date raped. I mean, it's, you know, it's, oh, outrageous. But, and the worst part of it is that, you know, this went on for years, and it got to the point where I, you know, I almost thought it was fairly normal. I mean, it was only actually fairly recently when I realised that it wasn't. And I was, you know, I was having a doctor's appointment, I was sat in the surgery, you know, you're reading through a couple of magazines, and they've got that guff in there, like Bella and Woman's Own and bits and pieces, and it's all filled with stuff about, you know, how to tell whether your man's cock is an average size and things like that. And I'm reading this thing about, you know, how to tell whether, you know, 10 signs that, you know, tell you whether you're giving your woman a screaming orgasm. And I'm reading through it, and do you know what? Turns out snoring's not one of them. Yeah, I might lie to you, I was fairly shocked, but, you know, it's terrible, really. But it kind of leads on, really. I mean, it sort of leads on to the whole purpose of this act, and it's kind of a bit of a confession tonight, if I'm honest with you, because I'm not really proud of myself, because, you know, obviously the whole, you know, Rohypnol thing with my girlfriend, she's got it in the house and she's made a bit of a habit of it, and, you know, if I'm honest with you, recently I did Rohypnol my girlfriend. And, you know, I do feel bad, you know, please don't judge me on it, but, you know, I thought I'd give it a go, but it's difficult. It's not as easy as you would think. I mean, it's one of those things that looks really, really easy on TV, but you actually try doing it. You know, I mean, it's not like there's a guide. I mean, you know, you can't Google it, or you don't get like a guide with it. I mean, you buy it from someone like Marvin, and there's no instructions with it. You know, I mean, you think you're cooking a turkey. Nigella does that. That's really, really easy. You look in, you look in the recipe book or whatever. You think, right, well, that's 8 kilos. So we'll say, I don't know, that's 45 minutes at gas mark 6. Job done. I mean, is it the same thing with Rohypnol? You turn around, and you think, well, you look about, I don't know, we'll say 6 foot, maybe 8 stone. That's 45 minutes in taxi. You know, it's, you know, oh, it's terrible. But, you know, I do feel bad that I Rohypnoled her, you know, I really do, you know, I think it was probably a step too far, you know, and in my defence, I'll say the same thing to you that I said to her, and that is, you know, frankly, if she'd have shared that KFC with me in the first place, I wouldn't have had to take such a high line with her. Unbelievable. But yeah, you know, it really annoys me because she's got this idea, you know, she wants to put me on a diet, and things like junk food and that, she won't let me have them, you know, and it really annoys me. And it does annoy me because it seems like, you know, healthy eating is everywhere. It really is taking over the world, and it's everywhere you go, and you kind of get forced down your throat. I mean, I don't know if anybody's had those magic words said to them by a pub landlord, you know, don't you think you've had enough, sir? But I've had that shit said to me in McDonald's, you know, and that's not funny, but, you know, that's terrible. Yeah, but anyway, on a serious note, I mean, obviously, just in case anybody here is, you know, quite disgusted with my blatant talk of Rohypnol my girlfriend and is, you know, thinking about a potentially violent attack on me in a pub car park afterwards, I would just like to say that I didn't actually Rohypnol my girlfriend. It was actually something that I just made up to tell a joke and try and be funny, and that's actually true because, you know, fuck me if you can't buy the stuff anywhere, and, you know, I've tried, and obviously... I must move in the wrong circle of friends, because it doesn't matter who you ask, nobody can tell me where to get the stuff, you know. And frankly, well, you know, I don't doubt that for a second. You know? Yeah, if I've learned one thing from this whole escapade, it's that the pharmacist at Boots isn't very helpful. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it really, to be fair. So I know it's a lot shorter than the 5 minutes, but it's just, you know, trying out new bits and pieces. So thank you very much. I've been Paul Cooper.
I was smelling that for days. He's a loser, but he did really well, didn't he? Round of applause, Paul Cooper.
Living in a dead-end, deadbeat town. It's coming up and it's coming down. Made 50 grand on a 2-bit house. So come on, baby, do the debt.